Folks, this is not clickbait. I'm going to highlight two major forms of MOT fraud, one of which you might be aware of, one of which you're almost certainly not aware of. Certainly I wasn't aware of it. This is mind-blowing stuff. I'm going to tell you what the fraud is, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be tempted to do it, and I'm going to show you some real-life examples of people advertising this service, and finally I'm going to show you a way of possibly making sure you don't fall victim to the fraud unknowingly yourself. I want to thank the viewer that tipped me off to this just a few days ago. I must admit I was completely unaware of this myself. That viewer doesn't want me to mention his name, but thank you very, very much indeed. Now, MOT fraud's nothing new. It's been around for years. People taking backhanders to issue MOTs or doing an MOT for their mate, etc. However, it now seems to be growing, and there's a really blatant new trend, and I'm going to show you various examples of that in a sec. The first one is where you pay for an MOT and you just get a piece of paper. Okay, so you may take your car to what you think's a garage and you may pay them money for an MOT and they literally give you a piece of paper. It may even be someone that claims they can do a mobile mechanic MOT, and they turn around and just give you a bit of paper. There's a really, really easy way to check if that's happened to you, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, if you think your car's passed its MOT and it hasn't, there are a couple of really serious things that could happen. First one is you get pulled over by the police. Police cars have ANPR cameras in them. They'll read your number plate. It'll flash up as the car doesn't have a valid MOT. You'll show them a worthless bit of paper, because the bit of paper is worthless these days. Everything's stored online, in the cloud, etc. And you might well get a fine. You might be able to plead your innocence and show them this fake MOT certificate, but of course you could have made it yourself. So chances are you'll still get dealt with for that. Secondly, you might be driving around in a car that's got bald tyres. It might have heavy corrosion, which means in the event of an accident it falls to bits. It might have brakes that are on their way out, could have all sorts of safety problems. The MOT is to make sure a car is safe to be used on the road. It's not just mindless red tape. It does have a real purpose to it. The fact that you're driving around in a car that hasn't passed an MOT could be putting you and everyone in your car, your family, at risk, and it could also be putting at risk all the other people on the road. So that first fraud, people could be a victim of that without realising it. Now, the second MOT fraud is one that seems to be growing at pace, and it's extremely blatant, and I dare say that most of the people going into one of these know exactly what they're doing, and they think they're being clever, beating the system by buying an MOT. So this gives you a genuine MOT pass, okay? You pay an amount of money to someone, you send them your VIN number, you send them the mileometer reading on your car, or the one that you've decided it's going to be, and they issue you an MOT certificate. Job done. It's all on the system. Kosher MOT, cost you 150 quid, something like that. Now they're advertising this for cars and for class 7, so that's big, heavy vans up to 3.5 tons. And obviously the damage one of those things could cause, fully laden, if the brakes are out, if it's got mad corrosion, anything like that, it could be absolutely catastrophic. Now the danger is someone does this one year, they do it the next year, they do it the next year. Obviously the state of a vehicle at the end of 12 months can be pretty bad. How many times have you gone for an MOT and needed a few hundred quid's worth of welding, or you've needed new tyres, you've had to have your brakes replaced or something like that? Now imagine that that's not picked up for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You could be driving around in an absolute death trap, you know, things that could kill everyone in your vehicle, lead to a massive pile-up, could lead to multiple people having life-changing injuries or indeed life-ending injuries. Now the most remarkable thing about this, I'm just going to pop up lots of things here while I'm talking, just how blatant the ads are. I've just done a quick search on Facebook and I've blanked out the names on these because not all of them potentially know that their name or their group's being used, but I've a fair bet that most of them do. Unbelievably, some people are doing this using their own name on what appear to be completely kosher Facebook accounts. The other thing is, I don't want to place an advert for any of these people because I think they're morons. So here you go, just have a look at some of these. I mean, it's just incredible how blatant they are. And the amount of money's mentioned there, I would guess the cheaper ones are just you're getting a bit of paper and nothing else. The more expensive ones, you're probably getting a bona fide MOT where they haven't even seen your car. They probably haven't even been in the same county as you. It's absolutely shocking, this. It's disgusting. People will die because of this, and I'm sure people have died because of it. The easiest one of these frauds to actually check yourself is the fake MOT certificate. So if someone's taken your money and literally just made up a fake MOT certificate and given you that, you just go onto this government website. I'll put a link in the video description. Click on Start Now. Just stick in your reg number. I'll use this one, which is my old Audi. And you'll see it's got valid MOT until 2023. Obviously on this you can also go through and see all the MOT history. You can see failures, you can see advisories that were on it, anything like that. So it's really, really useful. Now when you're buying a car, you could also use this to a degree to see if you feel like the car may have had a ghost MOT. So an MOT where someone's literally just paid and someone's passed it on the system. That's the end of that. So what you could look at are things like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, it had a load of advisories and it's still got those advisories now. The situation would have become worse. An advisory usually means you need to get it done. It's going to get worse. It'll be a fail next time round. Something else you can do is if it previously had advisories and now it hasn't got any, ask for receipts of the work. And if not, try and inspect it for yourself. If it's things like, look, on the Audi, you had a CV boot severely deteriorated. Jump under the car, look at the CV boot. Is it a new one or not? Things like that can help to detect when you're buying a used car if that's had a ghost MOT on it or not. Remember that the MOT is there for everyone's safety. And if you're in a car that you think is completely fine and it's got illegal tyres, illegal brakes, or it's got a load of corrosion, that means it's not going to stand up well in a crash, you could be putting your family and other families at risk. Folks, if you think you're being clever by cheating the system and getting yourself an MOT pass for only 150 quid where the MOT might have cost you 1,500 quid, you're not. You're putting your life at risk and you're putting every other road user's life at risk. Don't do it. Even if you're otherwise completely lacking in morals, please keep legit with this. Now, of course, there'll also be a lot of innocent victims of these ghost MOTs, people buying a used car that has got a brand new MOT on it and they think, oh great, I've got brand new MOT, the car's good, yada yada yada, and actually all the tyres are bald, the brakes are knackered, it's got a load of rust underneath. You can't really trust anyone these days, all right? So it's always inspect and don't expect. Look for evidence yourself, don't trust a bit of paper. Now folks, if you suspect anyone of committing MOT fraud, you can report it here, 0800 030 4103 or inquiries@dvsa.gov.uk. Now folks, I will be emailing them myself with a link to this video so they can see exactly what I've told you here. You never know, it might save someone's life. And here's what people face if they're found guilty of issuing fraudulent MOTs. Last year we received reports that garage in Brockley, London was issuing MOT certificates without tested vehicles. They basically did 3 days of covert surveillance. Both men pleaded guilty. The garage owner was given an 8-month suspended sentence and ordered to carry out 200 hours of unpaid work and paid costs of £2,500 and an £80 victim surcharge. The other tester was given a 4-month suspended sentence, ordered to carry out 200 hours of unpaid work, paid costs of £500 and an £80 victim surcharge. We also banned both of them for testing for 5 years. Why they're not banned for life, I don't know, but you know, at least a 5-year ban is something worthwhile. And just look at that, of the 45 vehicles they tested, 27 hadn't been to the garage. That's awful. As always, if you want some more advice when buying a used car, you can get yourself one of these on Amazon. It's my book. You can also get it on Kindle. It's only £3.95 on Kindle, or you can read it completely for free by doing the Kindle Unlimited trial. Again, link to this book in the video description. This Ghost MOT thing is brand new to me, so it's not in the book, but there are tons of other things to look out for that are in that book, and hopefully it will be the best money you've ever spent. Or not, if you do the free trial, I guess. Thank you for watching this one, folks. Please give the video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Please share it as far and wide as you can, because this is one of those videos where I want as many people to see it, so as many people as possible are aware of this going on. when you think how close I am to all things car related, even I didn't know about this. So chances are, you know, the bloke next door doesn't know about it, kind of thing. So please share it as far and wide as you can. And if you like car content, lots of car reviews, car news, lots of car finance content on this channel. So please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll catch you on the next one.